What needs to happen to re-energize? The only thing I can say, and it sucks, is that it's going to have to get worse.
Because look, Mike, I brought this topic up on last week's show.
On
last week's show, I said this, and the hippie generation, the poor people stuck together. They had free love, whatever. They hung out in the parks together. They watched each other's back, whether you were black, white, or whatever. Since they broke that up,
see, what
they have managed to make the poor people hate each other.
That's how we grew up.
You're so scared of your neighbors that we don't look that. I don't care if the guy across the street from me is black. I don't care if the guy across the street from me is Mexican. I don't care if the guy over here is a white, racist,
Puerto Rican, a
weirdo. We're all on the same fucking boat. We're all on the same street. We're all living the same life. But for some reason, we don't connect like they did in the 50s and 60s.
Because now
we can't think that
because
way.
Back then,
Christopher said because of all the hate they threw.
Campaign of fear is what it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is that. I mean, if you watch the news, you know, they'll show you who they want you to be scared of.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Trayvon Martin would probably be a good example, you know, if you want to throw in that, you know, well, the boy was wearing a hood. Well, you know, if that's what you see, you know, on the news, what perpetrates crime, the natural feeling would be to go when you're out walking the street. It's not a prejudiced thing. It's what they, you know, what you see, and it's like, oh my God, there's a couple of black guys, you know, with hoods. Should I be scared because they're showing me on TV that I should be? Because that's who they're showing is perpetrating crime. It's not us that, you know, instigate, you know, that kind of thing. But if that's what they're going to show and not be, you know, show, you know, an equality of, you know, it's like, well then, you know, what, white people ain't out there committing crimes?
Exactly.
Mexicans aren't, Chinese aren't, you know, Japanese, you know, whatever.
Everybody.
You know, it's like, you know, why do focus on one? You know, I'm sure there's, you know, and white criminals aren't just the ones that are stealing the money out of the stock market.
Exactly.
You know, but to answer your question, what needs to happen, and the reason it has to get worse, is that people have gotten too goddamn lazy.
Greedy.
Lazy.
Greedy.
As long as I have it's like as long as I got a roof over my head, I got a means to put food in my belly. You know, then I'll be okay. But it has to actually happen to them, and for them to go, oh shit, now I know what it feels like.
So you just like,
I know what it feels like.
So
you know what it feels like.
So
fuck that, man.
I made a statement a couple weeks ago.
What motivates people?
Union workers.
What motivates people?
Yourself.
They think things
are
good.
Shit.
Pain. Pain motivates people.
No.
I heard it on NPR, and they were discussing union workers and how they vote, and how some union workers actually vote against their own cause, really. Yeah. And it was said that union voters often vote Republican when they think that things are okay. When they're pacified and happy with where they're at, they'll vote Republican. When they're pissed off about what's going on in the system, they vote Democrat.
Yeah. Because of fear. When they're scared, they run Democrat.
So basically, what the Republicans are going to cause with all their fucking shit, with breaking up the right to assemble and the free speech and all that, is eventually they're going to cause a huge backlash.
See,
that's not
they
good for
already divided
either,
shit,
really,
dude. They should have never divided that shit in the first place, dude.
Whatever made
there should be one republic, dude, or one democracy, or one whatever the fuck it is.
No way, dude. No.
Yes.
No way, dude.
Yes, there should be, dude.
One party.
I think there should be at least 4,
dude.
Right? There should be at least 4.
You're dividing the country. You already divided the
4
country. Do people gonna hate somebody just because they're a fucking Democrat?
I think 4, dude.
Somebody's gonna hate somebody just because they're Democrat.
That's how for a lot of people. That's how.
Why isn't there 4 parties?
There should be one party of one thing, dude, and be like, hey, dude, all right. We're gonna vote for this dude.
Like, oh my God, I don't want to say that it might be like a Bill O'Reilly thing. You're talking socialism.
Exactly.
Are you a socialist, my God?
I probably fucking am.
Oh, Rush, are you watching Rush?
Should be all motherfucking military and shit.
We used to think
he is, dude. He said he thought everybody should have to serve in the military.
That's Germany.
That is the best research. Derek. Wow, dude. No.
That's terrible, dude. He is red. You are red, dude.
You need the kind of protest that we had back when
the Vietnam War. Scottish, dude. Knock that shit off.
He's fucking Braveheart, goddammit.
Scottish. Oh, shit. Mel Gibson and shit. He said I'm Mel Gibson. Drunk ass motherfucker.
Hey, here's one thing's for sure: is that every one of you motherfuckers is an immigrant. That's for sure, or the son of an immigrant.
Son of an immigrant.
Hey, my mom came over from Germany after the war, so
it's cool with me.
I guess.
Does that make you American?
Yes.
Right? It makes us all American, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the melting pot.
All right.
At the beginning.
Let's change up topics. Another hot story in the news this week. The Penn State thing just won't go away.
I didn't catch much.
It just
of the news,
is getting
so
deeper.
The FBI is investigating that Larry Sandusky was, I'm sorry to say, no offense to anybody, pimping those boys out to rich donors. And it was said at the beginning of when he first got arrested, it was brought up, but it got real quiet. And I had been telling Derek while we were doing the show, why ain't they talking about this? And now you find out why, because the FBI got wind of that and went deep undercover, I guess, and they tracked it down some millionaire.
They finally
They
figured
can
some
prove
shit out.
has been donating millions of dollars to Penn State University. The only thing I can say is if that shit comes out to be true, that school has to go.
That school has to be
Has
shut
to
down,
go.
man.
I just don't see how it can. I'm sorry, Penn State people. I don't see how.
I don't even want to get an easy win out here or nothing.
I mean,
it doesn't even matter.
I couldn't go to the
It doesn't
football. I could
matter.
never go on that stadium to
Fuck
watch
that,
football games
dude.
without puking.
So I guess in retrospect, you guys were right about the Penn
Dude.
State ruling. It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
To me, at the
wasn't
time,
enough.
with the information that was presented, I thought it was.
You know, and
now,
at some point, you know, I thought maybe
it's
some
been
of
going
it,
on longer than
you know,
that.
was a little
It's
too
got to
much,
be
but-
deeper than that.
The school,
dude.
the school, all the employees
Oh
of the
my
school,
God,
the president of the school, they all hid what he did. Why would they hide that? There had to be big
Why would they
fucking money
hide that
behind
shit?
that. For that shit to be hidden and for him to be taken care of. Why was he ever allowed back on campus and to have an office and still be able to bring boys in that shower after they caught him doing it? Because there was big money behind it.
Doesn't make you wonder then about George Paterno's longevity? It's like, you know, okay, it's been a while since you won a national championship, but hey, don't let me go, dude, because, you know,
Christopher mentioned
out of my
something like
senility,
that.
I'm loose
When I first told him earlier in the week about that, maybe Joe Paul was in on too.
Wow,
maybe he was. I don't know.
It's wrong.
I hate to speak bad of the dead, but I think Joe Paul knew more than what he
I mean,
he
did.
did.
He did because he already told
Oh
people.
my
It's
God.
like, and how can you really,
If Joe Paul was still
only know
alive,
like one instance,
maybe
like
he really is.
somebody told me.
He was
we don't
the
know. We've never seen
anarchy.
his body, huh?
Maybe he's the king of the
What
anarchy.
would you have done if you'd have been the coach of a football
Sorry,
team
Joe
like
Paul.
that? Somebody came
I'm
to you
sorry.
and goes, hey, you know, one of your assistant coaches
Oh
is
my
banging
God.
little boys
That's
in
wrong.
his shirt. Would you just go, okay,
Dismiss
I
him?
guess I'll go talk to my higher. Why
Hey,
wouldn't you go down to the
I got
locker room and
you.
kick the guy's ass?
No, I'd be like, hey man, you wanna go cancel?
Fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Like, here, I got this suit from Lady Gaga, and I want you to wear it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tie you to this tree, and I just want you to know there's a lot of black bears in the neighborhood. See you later.
Jerry Sandusky.
Oh my God.
That's like, just let them get chewed alive by bears. That'd be the fit. Just tear them to shreds.
Doesn't this
That was
sound
a
like though
perfect
it's some
fit,
kind
though.
of horror
It was a
movie
perfect
or some
fit
kind of
for
action
it.
movie or drama?
It's surreal.
It doesn't
yes.
sound like anything that could really happen. But you know what?
It does, but it doesn't.
In
So,
reality,
okay,
in
yeah,
reality,
I can
it's
see
no
that
different than the
happening.
church.
Right.
It's no different than the church
Exactly,
scandal.
man.
Only it was in a smaller community, and it was still rich old men doing what they wanted with young boys.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the church one's even far more extensive because it goes on
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
all over
more.
the world.
It goes on forever.
There's all kinds
Congregations
of
and
human,
stuff like that.
rights violations and stuff like that going on. I mean, you got the sex trade where they'll pick up girls in Mexico or fucking over in East Europe.
Hey,
or
a lot of the
fucking-
missing
Running
girls
guns,
that
And the guns were given in Mexico
You know,
and shit.
there's all kinds of stuff like that. There's Chinese girls that come over here that are basically nothing but a
Mail order
slave.
bride.
They're a slave. They're a slave.
offered jobs when they get over here, and then, oh yeah, here's your
And-
job.
Nope.
And
You ain't
you
gonna
gotta
do
pay for your
shit.
trip over here. So basically,
You're
you're
gonna be
fucking
playing
indentured
tulips.
servant
You're going to be
forever.
playing tulips.
Well, it could be that too. I don't know, but I know they have. Slavery is still a problem in America. It's
It's still
part
a
of
problem
everyday
around the
life.
world every time.
We think that in America we're above all that stuff.
Nah, that shit goes on here every day. Girls
You know,
go missing, boys
that's
go missing.
part of the blindness of
That's what's wrong with society.
America, man. Is they don't want to see it. It's like if you tell them, it's like
Exactly.
no,
You're too sensitive.
And if you have to see it, it's like, well, I'm changing channel. I mean,
Can't be
for
too
anybody to
sensitive,
watch,
man.
even 5 minutes into it is probably most. It's difficult.
Yeah,
I find it difficult to watch programs on stuff like that But without the knowledge of it, I'm not one that wants to be ignorant of what's going on around me.
Yeah.
I teach my goddaughter, you got to know, about your environment and the world you live in. You want to survive in this booger, because if you don't, you're going to run into something that you ain't even got to.
Did you say you want to treat your God that?
No.
Tell his goddaughter.
Teach my goddaughter to be aware of your environment and the world around you. It's like, pay attention, because if you don't, you're going to be had. You're going to get ate up in this thing.
And number one.
Watch the environment
education. You got.
Don't trust anybody unless you know them. That's for sure. And even if you know them, obviously, those boys thought they were Jerry Sandusky.
Pay fucking attention.
The one word that got me in the biggest trouble when I was in school and everything, and probably still does, because I can never get past that one word, is why. I ask why an awful lot. I don't take, especially when it comes to politicians, like, everybody knows politicians at some point lie.
Why?
Okay, so, if you know they lie going into
like a used car salesman.
What part do you sit there and go, oh, I'm going to believe that, but I don't believe that? How are you going to be able to tell the difference?
We've been indoctrinated for centuries.
Then that's why you go, why?
That's what the Christian religion is based upon. How many people do you know that claim to be a Christian and actually live Christ-like?
Oh, God.
Oh, right. Christ, he feeds the hungry and heals the sick for free.
It's always been the same.
He be an evil live.
Another good example is
Russell Hannity, who preached that shit, would talk. If he came down from the sky today, floated down.
There'd be a lot of disappointed people. There'd be a lot of disappointed people.
It would be up. They would call him a devil because he'd be doing the non-capitalist thing. And that's the true Jesus. You're right, because nobody lives
socialist.
The people that love Jesus, they don't. They crack you up so much because they don't live his life.
But the children and the poor are the
you're
ones
bad
who
because
care
of what
about
you do. I'm good because I believe in Jesus. But you're bad
that's
for
what
what
I'm trying to tell
people.
people.
According to their ideas and their beliefs, they can do whatever the hell they want all week long. Go to church on Sunday and ask for forgiveness, and they're clear.
You can write your own in.
That's just wrong.
Write it in. Say the people.
I like Christopher's religion, Buddha, better.
Since it should be run by the people.
You know what?
The
church that was shot up the cheeks.
That's how we
I was reading their religion. I like their religion.
Yes, dude.
Their religion is very peaceful.
It says
you can believe in whatever the hell you want.
And the stupid asses keep thinking they're fucking from Iraq or something because they're fucking dumb.
Leave those people alone.
Cheat on that shit.
Them sheiks, the church that was shot up. That is one of the most peaceful religions I've ever seen. When I read up about it, and those people should not be getting shot.
Well,
they're fucking. I mean, God,
they don't care
America
what you believe. You don't have to believe it all. You can just come in church and hang out.
They see a turban, they form a belief.
They just say everybody in their church comes there and hangs out and just says what they believe, what they want to believe. You can chill there and say, I don't believe. They don't care.
Do you think America's getting dumber?
Dick on faggots.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. The Constitution of the United States was written at like a 17th grade level or something like that, because of the way it's worded and everything. Most of the legislation written now today is written at an 8th grade level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Something that a 13-year-old would write.
Yeah, that's our own government doing that shit.
Yet they make thousands and thousands of pages that nobody can read.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we're ticking down here. Any last thoughts on what's going down?
We were talking about the perverts. Mike, what do you think should happen to them? We'll give you a quick rundown. Mine, I think they should be crushed. Christopher thinks he had a great.
You talk about Penn State.
Christopher had the greatest idea to do.
Or just perverts, or just child molesters in general.
Crazy people like the dude that shot up the thing.
Oh, there's certain things that go through my mind. I don't think people would really want to be able to picture.
Christopher said we should gut them and use their organs.
I've always said you could tie piano wire around their genitals and throw it over a tree and hoist them up.
Yeah.
I mean, if it cuts through quick, fine. If it doesn't, well, then let it take time.
Let it take time.
Either that, or when you put them in jail, for God's sakes, please, put them in general population.
I still like Christopher's idea.
A taste of their own medicine.
Christopher said we should make them useful to people that are dying and need kidneys and need arms.
Well, there you go.
I thought that was the most brilliant thing. Well, it sounds cold-blooded, but that's the most perfect sense to do with those sick fucks.
Well, then they actually do serve a purpose for them.
That's what Christopher said. Well,
instead of a pariah.
On the final words from that, peace.
See ya.
Take a commercial.